Hello and welcome to Cougars Baseball. Sorry for the slight delay. Had to make a high-tailed sprint from soccer to baseball. If you were listening to both games today, I appreciate it, and we appreciate you tuning in here at CUC. We are in the bottom of the first inning between the Cougars and the Cardinals of the number 14 ranked North Central College. Cougars have runners on the corners here, and only one out, and a strike is called here to number 30, Colton Wallace.
Two down in the inning.
Two down in the inning. My apologies. We're still all getting caught up here, and I gotta pull up the stats on this game too, so I can keep track of things better that way. As Wallace swings and misses for strike number 2. Alex Campbell alongside Justin Bjorseth, and Justin, that was a nice start in the top of the first from Cougars. Started today, Cade Laudenschlager. A bit of a bullpen game for both teams lined up today.
Yeah, Laudenschlager looked good in the first, and just to give you a quick rundown from what you missed from the Cougars, we had a pop-up from Howie Hatton to begin the inning. Then a
chopper to the mound.
A chopper to the mound that was mishandled, ruled E1. Anderson reached base. Then we had a flyout from Maynard and a single to right from Brody Mariotti that got Anderson to third.
As now this is chopped to third by Wallace. It's going to be a difficult play for the third baseman, but he will make it, and the first baseman will scoop. And that will end the first inning. So after 1, 2 runners left on by the Cougars. No score as we head to the second. Paul Beverly to lead off the inning here, a junior from Roselle, Illinois. Laudenschlager's first pitch is low and away on a fastball, ball 1.
Viewers' first chance to see Laudenschlager today.
As we said, he had a very quiet and uneventful first inning, which is what you like from a pitcher. And we've seen Cade do some long relief out of the pen today, as that's a breaking ball, nice for strike 1. We've seen him do some long relief out of the pen this year, so although he's not technically a starter, of all the relief pitchers, he's the man probably best suited to this role.
Yeah, he's ready to step up today for the Cougars, and we mentioned a pretty clean first. There was a 2-out double that he worked around without any problems. Pitching to contact today for the most part so far, which is a good thing because you got 8 defenders behind you.
And that's a hit batter as Beverly, the first baseman, will make his way down to first base on a walk, technically, to open the inning.
Up next, number 20, John Petty.
That'll bring up John Petty, the designated hitter. Petty this season played in 7 games, has 6 hits and 12 plate appearances, including 2 doubles. And he's going to lay down a bunt, but it's foul. And Justin, not a surprise given that it's relatively short rest for both of these teams and it's a non-conference game. We're going to see the rosters really used to their fullest today to give maybe a few extra players chances, given the fact that in the grand scheme of things, this game means less to each of these teams than most of their schedule.
The Cougars played 4 games between Sunday and Monday, and those Monday games were marathon games. They scored nearly 30 runs in Game 1 against IIT on Monday.
Here's a dribbler to the right side. It's going to be off the glove at second base of Christian Jacob, who I'm not sure if he could have made that play. The double play was certainly out of the question. Maybe if he had got the ball knocked down, he could have made the play at first. But it's 2 on with nobody out, and that will bring up Gregorio, the third baseman.
Batting now, number 6, Luke Gregorio.
Gregorio this season, a 3.08 average batter. He has started now all 18 games. So right after I said we've seen some roster depth shown today, Gregorio, though, keeps his place and hits here with 2 on and nobody out in the top of the second. And he will square to bunt, and he'll lay it down the first baseline, but foul. And interesting to see, I get nobody out, 2 men on, but Gregorio, a guy, Justin, who's got a homer, a triple, and a double this season, and is one of the best hitters on this Cardinals team. You think they'd let him swing away?
Well, maybe this ties back to what we talked about, the sort of awkward midweek game. Might try some different things, play some different guys, get some different looks. And, they saw the batter before him try to lay down the bunt. Maybe this is a small ball kind of team. Get him on, get him over, get him in.
Look where Brody Mariotti is standing before the pitch is thrown. The ball's in the dirt, blocked well by Carter Gledhill, the catcher. And, it takes some guile to stand where Brody Mariotti is, because at any moment that batter could pull that bat back and motion to swing, and you are suddenly in a very dangerous spot.
Well, that probably was the furthest I've ever seen a first baseman come up on a bunt attempt. Now, he's still shaded well in. He's about a little in front of the pitcher, takes a couple more steps in here.
And Gregorio immediately shows bunt again on the 1-1 count. Laudenschlager will throw back to second, but comfortably back is the runner.
The whole infield's moving around now because you have Uba going to cover the bag on second there. Christian Jacob out at second base, getting ready to go cover first in the event that Mariotti fields the bunt. But with where Mariotti is, he might be thinking third base here.
And this is a bunt down the third base line, and no one's going to play it, and that honestly might be for the best. That's a perfectly placed bunt by Gregorio. And with nobody out, the Cardinals have loaded the bases. As to the plate comes number 48, the the left fielder, Roach.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
48, Trey Roach.
You had your first baseman in, the third baseman just up on the grass, and he lays it beautifully down the third base line.
Trey Roach, this is only his third at bat this season, Justin. He is 0 for 2 in his 2 previous plate appearances, one of which he grounded into a double play, which the Cougars could very much use right here.
Cougars could very much use that right now. Mariotti and Anderson in on the grass.
That's a called strike 1 from Laudenschlager, who will look to pitch himself out of trouble here.
Something the Cougars have done a pretty good job of for the most part this year is working around guys on base. This, though, a very dangerous situation with the bases loaded and nobody out.
The 1-0 is up and away, 2-0. 1-1. Still getting into the zone here as we got everything set up at warp speed, I think I'd call it, here in the press box behind home plate.
It was quite a rush getting everything set in time for this game.
1-1 is inside, just missed hitting Roach, and that's 2-1 on the fastball. Bases full of Cardinals. Gregorio at first, Petty at second, and Beverly at third here in the top of the second inning. We're scoreless for now, and Cade Laudenschlager on the bump, looking to keep it that way. The 2-1 pitch is popped up in the air. This could be in play. Third base side, Anderson is running back, and this ball will fall fair, and the runner comes home from third. Could be a force out at third, but I'm not even sure that Matt Uba had really thought about that fact. He wasn't on the base, and the runner slides behind him. Everyone is safe. A run is in. 1-0 Cardinals here in the second.
Yeah, just a tough play there. Off the bat, I thought that it was going to be fouling out of play.
I did as well.
And thought, that the Cougars might steal an out here and get in a position where a double play gets them out of the inning. And I think that Anderson kind of thought that too. And they were all a little surprised, I think, when that ball landed fair and then a little hectic.
Ground ball to third. This could be 2. Anderson to second for 1. Jacob to first. Double play. A run scores, but it's 2 important outs for the Cougars. But it's 2-0 Cardinals.
Now batting, number 3, Michael Stoltz.
That'll bring up Michael Stoltz. He's got a .357 batting average this season, starting his 21st game this season. So that's every single game, as this is the Cardinals' 21st of their schedule. They come in today at 15-5. He shows bunt. They were looking for the squeeze with 2 outs, and that would have been quite an aggressive play.
Well, you have your leadoff man off. I assume he can fly, being that he bats in the leadoff position on a nationally ranked team.
That seems like a safe assumption. He pulls the bat back now as Laudenschlager fires a strike, 1-1.
And this would be really big for Laudenschlager here to get out of this. Only 2 runs. One scoring on kind of
a fluke
little flare. You know, they used to call that the Kansas City special.
And this is grounded toward third. Anderson will leave it for Uba, who makes the play to first. Did Mariotti keep the bag? Umpire says no. Safe at first is Stoltz. The inning continues. A third run comes in. So all 3 of those original runners with nobody out all come home to score. And it's 3-0 Cardinals here in the second. And that will bring up number 40, Luke Lennon.
Now batting number 40, Luke Lennon.
Maybe Luke Lennon. I don't have the pronunciation guide in front of me. We'll update you on that one.
I'm thinking Lennon. Sounds like it could be it.
It's a ball in the dirt from Laudenschlager. Another good block from Gledhill. I am looking up the pronunciation guide as we speak. I knew I felt like I was missing one tab. I've got like 8 of them open right now. Although I've just realized this team is not in the NAC. So
they are not.
I actually don't have access to their pronunciation guide, so we're going with Lennon for now. He's got a 1-0 count as Laudenschlager has picked the runner Stoltz off of first, and he's in a pickle. Mariotti drops the ball, and Stoltz will get out of the pickle and go down to second, as it looked like the Cougars had the third out of the inning. And just in this second inning, just won't seem to end for the Cougars defensively. So Stoltz down to second base. And the at-bat for Lennon continues. Count still 1-0. Laudenschlager checks on Stoltz and delivers. Swung on, it's a ground ball told short, and it's into left field. Stoltz will round third. Here comes the throw from the outfield. Anderson cuts it off to make sure the runner doesn't advance. And that's the 4th run of the inning for North Central. 4-0 Cardinals.
Now batting number 12, Dom Listy.
That'll bring up Listy. Listy 1 for 1 today. We saw him hit a double back in the first. And that ball gets away from Gledhill. A wild pitch from Laudenschlager, and it's been a tough inning for CUC. Down to second base goes the runner Lennon.
Yeah, the Cougar defense not doing themselves any favors here early on.
Update, we have a pronunciation guide. Lennon is not on it.
Lennon.
But he is on second base right now. As Listy bounces this one back up the middle, and it's through, and the 5th run's going to come in. Lennon will score. And it looked like the Cougars were out of the woods with a double play to give them 2 outs. But the inning keeps going. 5-0 North Central. Michael Davis, the batter, 5-0 now Cardinals, as they've hung a crooked number up in the second inning. Davis 0 for 1 on the day. Take strike 1. The 1-1 is fouled away, 1-2. Davis, the 9th batter of the inning for the Cardinals. Laudenschlager will throw to first as diving back in is Listy. Six hits now in the game for North Central, plus 2 errors committed by the Cougars have produced the 5 runs. Runner goes, and that's taken for a ball.
I'm a little surprised by that call.
I thought that Laudenschlager was going to get the strike call, but it's a stolen base and called a ball, so the count goes to 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed on a changeup. The inning ends, but again, it's a crooked number from the Cardinals. They post 5 in the frame. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Cougars trail by 5. Bottom second here for the Cougars. Matt Uba to lead things off, and he takes ball 1.
I think there was a strike before that.
Yeah, so 1-1 the count. My apologies. Justin Rios out again for the second inning. As I mentioned, we're expecting a bullpen game of sorts from both teams, but probably 3, maybe 4 innings from these first pitchers. Rios lone away. Count 3-1 here to Matt Uba.
Looking to get on top of something here, hit it hard, and
Uba this season a
Start a rally.
.342 hitter. Sorry, Justin. Uba will foul that off himself, full count. Uba, one of a few hitters who's had a really excellent year for CUC. He's got an OPS of .940, 1 home run, 1 triple, and 5 doubles to go with 18 RBIs. The 3-2 from Rios is low, ball 4, and the Cougars have their leadoff runner aboard, much like North Central did in their top half of the second, and that ended in 5 runs. The Cougars will hope for the same as Carter Gledhill steps into the box.
well, leadoff runs have a way of coming around to scores, so we'll see if the bottom of the Cougars order here can't get a little something going, maybe flip it back to the top and put up a big inning here.
First pitch to Gledhill is taken high on a fastball, ball 1. Rios will throw over to check on Uba. Rios making his first start of the season, his 4th total appearance. Comes into the game with a 6.23 ERA. But opponents hitting just under 300 against him. Gledhill swings and misses. Strike 1.
Big cut there from Gledhill.
Carter, 17 at-bats this season, 4 hits, including a 3-run homer. Rios again throwing over to check on Uba, who slides back in safely and gets a little dirt on the jersey.
Yeah, we know the power is there, but right now what the Cougars really need is base runners to sort of get something going here. Try and answer the 5 with at least a couple of their own.
As Gledhill takes ball 2 up. So we mentioned North Central College ranked 14th in Division III this season.
They come in with a 15-5 record.
So they've got eyes on the postseason as Gledhill fouls that streak back. Strike 2. A beautiful afternoon here in River Forest, Illinois. Glad you could join us for Cougars baseball. And again, shout out to anybody who's joined us from the soccer game earlier. A 2-0 victory for Wisconsin Lutheran that was full of no shortage of controversy for the Cougars. As Rios delivers, and Gledhill pops this one up on the infield. Just into the outfield grass, actually. 3-4 players converging. No one's going to grab it, though, and it falls for a hit.
And boy, oh boy, is it nice to have one of those go the Cougars' way after we saw that in the top half of the inning for North Central.
Not often you see 4 players converge, though, and watch a ball drop between them. And it's not an error on anybody, just because...
It's not an error. It's a hit for Gledhill, his 5th of the year now, and because there were so many people converging, no one was at second base. There must be something weird with the wind today, much like the ball Anderson thought was going to go foul. I don't think the second baseman realized how deep into the outfield that ball was going to go.
The flag in right field is fairly still. It is pointed out to right, but not with any real strength.
Not with any, now that you mentioned that, not with anything that should be impacting these balls. Maybe just a couple tough spots for them to land. And now we'll see if the Cougars can take advantage of a slight break going their way.
That's a strike 1 call to second baseman Christian Jacob. He's got an opportunity here. The 0-1 is high, ball 1. Christian on the season, 5 hits, including a triple and a double, and either one of those right here would probably bring 2 runs home for the Cougars.
Well, you would hope that 2 would score on the triple.
Yeah, something has gone wrong if they don't. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1. Yeah, if you've got 2 runners on and you hit a triple and there aren't 2 runs on the board at the end, we must have had a home run hitter missed second base kind of scenario.
Not that we've seen that before.
All right. The 2-1 is high in the air. Well, this one
again.
caused trouble. Shallow right field. Catch is going to be made in right, and there's no chance really for Uba to tag, as making the catch is Lennon. And that'll bring up Aiden Donovan. Donovan playing in center field today. Aiden playing in his 12th game this season. Batting a whopping .457 and with an OPS north of 1,100. So hasn't played in every game, Donovan, but when he's out there, he has been lethal offensively.
Yeah, they love having him in this lineup. It's a luxury to have a 9-hitter who can hit and get on base at the clips that Donovan can.
It's a lefty-lefty matchup, though, as that's a nasty breaking ball diving low and away from Donovan, swinging a miss, strike 1. One out and 2 runners on here for the Cougars in the second. As Donovan dribbles this one up the right field line, or the first base line, really. Strike 2. And this is a situation now that will require real discipline and patience from Donovan, because especially in a lefty-lefty matchup, I'd expect Rios here to go back to that diving breaking ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially when Rios got him fishing on the first pitch of the at-bat, I would expect him to go back to that as well. If he leaves anything over the plate, it's a mistake.
The 0-2 is low and away. Ball 1. Uba at second, Gledhill at first. And the 1-2 to Donovan is swung on and missed. Strike 3. There's that breaking ball again. And it's 2 outs now in the inning for Howie Hatton.
Now batting, number 12, Howie Hatton.
It's harder for a left-handed pitcher to use a wipeout pitch like that to attack right-handed batters, but it is just so tough for a lefty to read that out of the hand and then do anything with it.
Yeah, when it breaks away like that, even if you catch up to it, not a whole lot you're going to do with it.
The umpire has stopped things here.
And I think that he was looking for the walk-up song to stop, but he was looking in the wrong direction. The Cougars' dugout is certainly not auxing at the stadium right now.
He simply could have waved to us, but instead
he could turn around up here and tell us to our face.
Or instead of awkwardly going and standing 5 feet to the right, as this is driven into center field by Hatton, and Uba's going to come around to score the first run for the Cougars. Gledhill is on his way to third. He will slide in safely. It's an RBI single for Howie Hatton.
Hatton continues to swing a hot bat for the Cougars.
Howie Hatton gets the RBI single. That's Howie's 17th run batted in this season as Uba scores. And as Matt Uba's 18th run scored to now match his 18 RBIs.
Now batting, number 25, Caleb Anderson.
That'll bring up Caleb Anderson. Anderson in the first inning reached on an error. That chopper back to the mound. Swinging here and fouling it down the first base line for strike 1.
We see again him working low in the zone to lefties. Anderson, who usually bats lower in the order, up in the 2-hole today. He has been swinging a hot bat, much like Hatton. It's good to have those guys in the top part of the order.
Anderson, another high chopper. This one to first base, and the out will be made with a tag on first, and that ends the inning. But the Cougars get on the board. We'll head to the third, 5-1 North Central. Top of the third here, North Central back to the dish after putting 5 on the board last inning as the first pitch of the inning from Laudenschlager is in the dirt to Beverly.
We'll see how Laudenschlager responds here. Last inning certainly wasn't entirely on him at all. The defense, there were a lot of weird hit balls, more than anything else, actually, I would say. There was that weird bunt. Very good. I shouldn't call it weird. It was a very nice bunt.
We had an odd pop-up that fell in left field. We had a pickle that ended in an error and left the runner aboard.
There was a throw that brought Mariotti off the bag at first base.
We had a double play that got 2 outs as that's checked up. Beverly was hit by a pitch earlier in the inning. That second had a bit of everything, and it ended with 5 runs on the board for North Central. The count now 2-1 to Beverly from Laudenschlager. The pitch. Did it hit him again?
It didn't.
It was close.
Very close, yes.
Cougars would know a thing or two about players getting hit by pitches.
2 more for Mariotti at IIT.
You mean Maynard?
Maynard, I'm sorry.
As that's high, and that is ball 4. So 2 at bats that on the stat sheet never happened for Beverly's. He's taken a free base twice.
I'm sure he'll be okay with that at the end of the day.
It's one of my favorite lines in movies. What does Brad Pitt's Billy Bean say he looks for in any player in the movie Moneyball?
Can you get on base?
He gets on base. That'll bring up Petty. Petty is 1 for 1 today. Runner on, nobody out.
Anderson way in at third like he's expecting a bunt.
Big breaking ball there. Started above the zone, finished below it according to the umpire. 1-0. Anderson in on the grass at third, as you mentioned. Maybe expecting more small ball from the Cardinals, as we saw in the last inning. The 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0. And the North Central dugout really getting into it now. I'm not sure if that's more about Laudenschlager or Beverly over at first.
I think they're counting the consecutive balls thrown, if I'm hearing them right. A lot of them have 5s up. Now
and that's a 6.
Yeah.
I would say your hypothesis is probably right.
I believe they call that psyops. At least that's what we called it back in the day, counting the balls in the dugout.
And look at this. Look where the batter's standing. This is I won't call it taunting because I'm not going to call it that in a real game. But that.
Well,
if
that's not taunting, then what's throwing your bat on a strike call?
He's barely put his toes in the box as if to say, you're not going to throw me a strike. And then on a fastball straight down the pipe, throws his bat, and the ump doesn't say a word.
The audacity.
That's, I've never seen that.
You could say that move was pretty petty.
And now he's going to step up with his toes on the plate. This is some interesting mind games being played here. Laudenschlager up and away, ball 4. There's another bat toss. And the fact that that did not result at least in some sort of warning from the umpire is interesting to me. And that'll bring up Gregorio. And we saw in the last inning them load the bases with nobody out, and they're 2/3 of the way to accomplishing the same here in the third.
And yeah, we saw the trouble that it can get you in when runs can score at any point from any little bloop or
and there
even
on
on
the
a
bunt
double
from
play.
Gregorio, and he will bunt back to the mound. Laudenschlager will throw to first for the out as Christian Jacob covers. 1 down. Runners do move up, though, to second and third on the sacrifice bunt, which did its job.
And that, so far, is the difference between this inning and last, is that did not end in a bunt single. It was a successful sacrifice, but the Cougars did get an out of it.
That'll bring up Roach, who had an RBI single last inning. One out here in the second. Runners once again in scoring position for North Central. Foul ball down the first base line for strike 1.
The Cougars, the corners are in, but deep up the middle, they're not playing to cut off the run at this point in the game. They will take the out at first if given the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely. The 0-1 is grounded up the middle. It's knocked down by Jacob. Doesn't have really a play, but that ball gets away from Mariotti, and both runs will score. It is 7-0 Cardinals. I think that's an instance, Justin, of just trying to do too much. Jacob's got to realize in that scenario
he's not getting him at first.
He's just got to eat that one and hold the runner at third. So that's 7-1.
Batter, number 2, Michael Patterson.
7-1, my mistake. 7-1 here in the third. And still just 1 down as Michael Patterson comes to the plate. First pitch is a fastball over the middle of the plate for strike 1. 1-1 count here with one out. Swung on fly ball, shallow center field. Donovan running in and making the play for out number 2.
Back up to bat, number 3, Michael Stoltz.
That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Michael Stoltz. Who is technically listed as 0 for 2 today, but he has scored because he reached on an error. That's inside ball 1. And that pitch drops into the strike zone for strike 1. Two outs and a 1-1 count. Is lined up the middle, but it will float nicely for Uba, and that ends the inning. But 2 more runs score for the Cardinals. It's 7-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Cougars. Number 17, Gary Maynard.
Gary Maynard to lead off the home half of the 3rd. Maynard flew out back in the 1st inning and takes ball 1 low and in. Gary on the season, a .349 batting average and an OPS just over 1,100. He'll take low, ball 2.
He started the season in the leadoff spot, but he's really found a home here, I think, in the 3-hole. Batting in front of Mariotti. The power is there. He's hitting at a high average.
Chops this one to short. And the throw over for out number 1. Cool, calm, and collected that play by Stoltz at shortstop. And that'll bring up Brody Mariotti. Mariotti, who today is 1 for 1
Now batting,
with a single.
number 8, Brody Mariotti.
Mariotti, of course, the NAC's leader in home runs. Has 6 on the season to go at 24 RBIs. Takes an off-speed pitch at the letters for a strike. The 0-1 is low and inside. 1-1. Mariotti lifts this in the air down the right field line. It is in play, but is it fair? It won't matter. It is caught for out number 2, as making the play is Lennon.
About a foot into foul territory.
I'm going to be honest, Justin, I'm pretty jealous. You just put a coat on, and I did not dress today for having to sit and call a baseball game until 7 p.m. to give a little look behind the curtain. Did not originally expect to be here for this game, but duty calls.
Yeah, luckily for me, I knew that I would be here in this very cold press box, so I even have an extra sweatshirt in my backpack. So if you need that, I planned.
You
I
planned
planned
ahead
for the
much much better than I did as Colton Wallace takes strike 2, 0-2. Somehow at the moment it does feel colder in this press box than it felt outside, however that works. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed on a changeup, strike 3, and in order go the Cougars in the third. We'll head to the fourth. Cardinals continue to lead.
Number 40, Luke Lennon.
Luke Lennon to lead off the fourth here, and the Cardinals are looking for a third straight inning, with runs as they posted 5 in the second and 2 more in the third. As that's strike 1 from Cade Laudenschlager. We do have our first bullpen activity of the day, though, down the left field line in the north central pen.
And I'm a little surprised by that. I know that was kind of the forecast coming into to today's game. And I don't know what the depth looks like in their on their pitching staff. But
Lennon sends this one deep to left center field. It's going to bounce off the wall. Lennon is around second, and he's going to head for third. The throw is into Uba. Uba will throw to third, but sliding in safely with a leadoff triple is Lennon, showing his speed there.
And if you're listening at home and know that it is not pronounced Lennon, please feel free to tweet at us.
Because it's not included in the pronunciation guide. That is the second. No, that's the first triple of the year for Luke Lennon.
At CUC Baseball, we would love to get the pronunciation correct.
If it is Lennon or something else, feel free to just come say hi, though.
He needs a new helmet down at third base. That one did fly off, so he might have got to third base and been like, yeah, this doesn't fit. So I need a tighter one.
Trying to see if the pitcher is in the bullpen. Not sure if this is lined into left field, and that will score run number 8. And it's been a bit of a hit parade today for the Cardinals.
Next batter, number 38, Michael Davis.
The man in the bullpen is number 19, Jordan Litke, who's been impressive this year in 3 outings out of the bullpen. He's got a 1.8 ERA. That'll bring up Michael Davis. Davis 0 for 2 today as that ball bounces in front of Gledhill. Throw down to second, not in time, as sliding in safely is Listy.
Yeah, and I think Listy was maybe thinking about going all the way there, and as soon as he saw that ball hit into the dirt, even though Gledhill did a good job keeping it in front of him, it'll go as a stolen base. Certainly wasn't a wild pitch or a pass ball.
The 1-0 from Laudenschlager is in the dirt, but a swing that was not checked, 1-1. Davis has struck out in this game and also grounded out. Swung on and missed on a changeup from Laudenschlager. Davis guessing at that one. And a 1-2 count. Nobody out in the inning. A run in for the Cardinals, who lead 8-1.
You hear the Cardinals bench. Just put this ball in play. Get the runner to third. We'll see what the approach is here for Davis.
They've done well in that today. Again, we've seen bunts both for hits and as sacrifices. That's inside. I thought. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. I think it might have just been because Davis was standing so close to home plate for out number 1.
I think it was he turned his elbow a little bit, and that kind of got me too. But umpire hasn't had too liberal of a zone today, so you got to assume that that ball had at least a little bit of the inside corner, and a big strikeout there for Laudenschlager.
And credit to Gledhill for framing it on the corner. That'll bring up Beverly. Beverly, who has been hit by a pitch and walked. So that's high, ball 1.
As he is in search of his third time on base. This time I assume he would like to have a chance to hit the ball.
And a hit would bring another run home for the Cardinals.
In all likelihood.
That's up and out again, 2-0. As if you can hear some noise in the background, the track and field team is out practicing right now over what would be our left shoulders. Never a dull moment here for CUC Athletics this spring with basically every sport in session at some point. The 2-0 pitch is fouled off. Strike 1. Two-one to Beverly. Is off the neck of the bat, really popped up on the infield, and Matt Uba will make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting number 20, John Petty.
That'll bring up John Petty. Petty today, who has scored 2 runs. He has a single and a walk.
And I'm glad it looks so far like he remembers how to properly stand in the batter's box. So
after that last one, a 3-0 pitch where he barely put his toes in the batter's box a full 4 feet from the plate and tossed his bat on what he thought was ball 4. It was a strike, and on the first pitch here, he swings and flies to left. Hatton makes the catch to end the inning. One more run for the Cardinals. They lead 8-1 midway through the 4th. Matt Uba to lead off the inning. New pitcher in the game is Jordan Litke, a 6'3 senior from Gurnee, Illinois. as I mentioned when I saw him warming up as he throws strike one, his 4th appearance of the year, he brings a 1.8 ERA into this appearance.
And it begs a question. Any relation to Zach?
That's
I'm
high.
going to guess no, because I think that would have been in the notes somewhere.
I would have hoped so. As we throw shade at ourselves with that one. That's a curveball for strike two. Swung on a miss by Uba, dropped 3rd strike, taking his time as the catcher and then throwing a dart to first base for out number 1. Shout out to one of our production assistants today, Cougars women's lacrosse goalkeeper Ryan McGee, who just brought blankets into the press box.
Not only is she their goalkeeper, she is the reigning
NAC defensive
player of the week.
Now batting number 27.
Been a big part of now an 18-game winning streak for Cougars women's lax. Carter Gledhill to the plate. Take strike one.
All you.
No, we'll share the blanket. We're in limited space up here, so it's gonna take us.
I'm fine. The legs are surprisingly fine, though. I definitely don't know if that will be the case all afternoon.
Well,
here.
I'll save some for you then.
Gledhill takes ball 1. Looking for his 2nd hit of the day now.
Gledhill 1 for 1 on a bloop as that ball went about 58 feet and bounces in.
It was a strike. My apologies. We now have a 1-1 count. That's why I'm not the play-by-play guy.
Now, the play-by-play guy was busy trying to unfold this very large blanket that is now in his lap. All right. Blanket in place. Back to the action. 1-1 count to Carter Gledhill. From Litke, whose fastball there is wide. 2-1.
Oh, it is 3-1, so we missed a ball and a strike. And the ump just missed the ball there because that was a ball, but he called it a strike.
And he was about to ring Gledhill up. He also forgot the count. So it is 3-2 now. We have gotten there, but it was been a journey as Gledhill swings and misses on a changeup for strike 3.
Now batting number 2, Christian Jacob.
We'll bring in Christian Jacob, the second baseman. Jacob 0 for 1 with a flyout. First pitch from Litke is a big curveball for strike 1. And, we know this is the 14th ranked team in the nation. The Cougars have not seen a lot of pitchers this season who throw something with that much movement.
No, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why you're ranked where you're ranked, and even seeing more of a bullpen day from North Central, who have a very strong starting rotation. They still have guys who have some filthy stuff and can get guys out.
Jacob, though, lines this one into center field. This is well hit. Straightaway center, though. Catch will be made by Listy. And Litke shuts the Cougars down 1-2-3 here in the 4th. We'll go to the 5th. It's 8-1 North Central. Luke Gregorio into the batter's box here to start the fifth, and Cade Laudenschlager still on the mound for the Cougars, as that's high for ball one.
Laudenschlager has settled down since the 5-run inning. Couple of runs, 3 runs over the last 2 innings, but, still relatively quick innings. Nothing that's been absurd amounts of trouble out there. So we'll see if he continues to settle in here.
This one is chopped to third. Anderson has a play. He'll throw to Mariotti for out number 1. And that'll bring in number 48, Trey Roach. Roach today is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. First pitch is down the line and just foul for strike 1. Taking ball 1 there. The 1-1 from Laudenschlager. Swung on and missed. That changeup has probably been Cade's best pitch today.
It has. You saw Roach way out in front of it there. Not looking for it, and see if he goes a little bit more heat here.
And he did it again. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. It's a strikeout for Laudenschlager. His third.
Now batting number 2, Michael Patterson.
And here's where you hope that no trouble starts after 2 outs.
Absolutely not, as that brings in Patterson.
Quick, clean inning.
Patterson today, who has flown out and grounded into a double play, but to his credit, well, did he ground into the double play that scored 2 runs? We don't have any RBIs listed for him, so not positive, but here's another ground ball, nicely fielded off the bounce by Uba, throws to first, and a good quick inning for Laudenschlager and the Cougars. We're halfway home here at CUC, 8-1 North Central. Aiden Donovan steps in to lead off the home half of the 5th. Litke back to the mound as expected, as he only threw 12 pitches in his last inning. But this first one is way wide for ball 1. Donovan swings and misses on a changeup. Strike 1. And a foul straight back, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. There's that changeup again. Litke saw Laudenschlager have such success last inning. He said, I can do that too. And he sets down Donovan on strikes.
Back up to bat for the Cougars, number 12, Howie Hatton.
We'll bring in Howie Hatton. Howie, who has the lone RBI of the day for the Cougars. First pitch is a fastball taken for strike one. And the umpire calls time. For what, I'm not sure.
I think Hatton asked for it. I saw him readjust his batting gloves a little bit.
And on a curveball, that's chopped foul. 0-2. One out here in the fifth. Caleb Anderson, the man on deck. Litke's 0-2 is another bouncer. 58-footer. Ball one. The 1-2 just misses the low outside corner. 2-2. As now we've got a situation where sunglasses will become very important here as we get to that part of the day where the sun is setting and staring straight really at the right fielder. The 2-2 pitch is driven, hammered foul.
Heads up on the track.
Takes a bounce on the outside lane around one of the corners. No one in the area, luckily, though.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I don't believe that's a CUC track and field team. Might be one of the local high schools who practice here.
And changing speeds. There's that changeup again. It gets back-to-back Ks.
Well, he had him way out ahead the pitch before, so I think he knew he was going to that changeup. And unless Hatton sat back a little more, he was probably expecting that result, and he got it.
You're right. I'm confident it's not the CUC track and field team. These kids look a little young to be in college. Now, if they all were in college, good for them for being a few years ahead of their grade, but I doubt that's the case as they've got to watch out again here as Anderson sends one to the track. Foul ball.
Yeah, they're going to need to have someone over there as a spotter watching for foul balls because that was a close one.
It's strike one in the outside corner.
Strike two, I believe.
Oh, strike two, you're right. Heck, these could be middle school kids for all we know, and the last thing you really need is a 12-year-old getting beaned by an errant fly ball. Hope everyone stays safe out there. The 0-2 pitch. End of the bat on it, flares it towards center field, back and making the play over his shoulder is Stoltz, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Litke. It's taken him just 25 pitches to get through two frames, and the score remains 8-1 as we head to the sixth. New pitcher in the game for the Cougars, number 23, John Myers, relieves Cade Laudenschlager.
And I think they'll be happy to get 5 innings out of Cade.
Absolutely. And Myers this season, making his 7th appearance, he has started a game, has a 5.93 ERA, 10 strikeouts to 5 walks. And that is strike 1 on a fastball to Stoltz.
And a good sign whenever a pitcher comes out of the bullpen and fires strike 1. Never want to see someone come out there and be dancing all around the zone and never quite find their rhythm.
Stoltz, who's flown out twice and reached on an error, but also had an RBI. That's a bunt down the first base line, foul. But after that rough second inning, you mentioned, Justin, that Laudenschlager gradually looked more and more comfortable, finishing with a 1-2-3 fifth.
Yeah.
And he'll like that way to go out on the day, even though it wasn't the outing he would have hoped for.
His best inning was his last inning. He started strong as well. And then, like we talked about, the second inning was it's not like they were hitting the cover off the ball.
As Myers strikes out his first batter and sets down Stoltz quickly on 3 pitches. And that'll bring up Lennon, the right fielder, who's 2 for 3 today.
Next up, number 40, Luke Lennon.
Lennon 2 hits, including a triple and an RBI. First pitch from Myers is outside, ball 1. Myers, a freshman from Elmhurst, Illinois, went to York High School. As this is driven right to second base, Jacob can't quite time the jump and make the play. This ball's going to roll all the way to the wall, and Lennon's about to have his second triple of the day.
And off the bat, triples aren't always hit that as scorching line drives like that. That is a pretty unique looking triple. And that is just the fact of it was hit so hard and he was booking it out of the batter's box, and it took a long time for the outfielders to get to it because of where it landed.
Now batting, number 12, Dom Listy.
That'll bring up Listy. Currently looking up Luke Lennon's career stats to see how rare the fact that he just got 2 triples in 1 game is. Listy swings at the first pitch and lines it into center field. That'll bring Lennon home, and it's 9-1. So those were Lennon's first 2 triples of his career.
Next up, number 38, Michael Davis.
Lennon, who's a freshman from Chatham, Illinois, scores there, makes it 9-1 on Listy's RBI single. That'll bring up Davis. First pitch from Myers, wide. Davis today 0 for 3, has struck out twice and grounded out. 1-0 is up and out, 2-0. The 2-0 to Davis. Fouled straight back, 2-1. Myers checks on the runner Listy at first. And delivers the 2-1. On the outside corner, 2-2. Good pitch there from Myers.
Very good spot for Myers there. He'll live there all day if the ump will let him. And we'll see here on 2-2 what he's thinking with Gledhill. Still probably trying to roll 2, but he'll take a strikeout.
This is popped up just out of play. And the count remains 2-2. North Central, of course, located in suburban Naperville, Illinois. A campus that's very much part of downtown Naperville. Choking up on the bat here, Davis on 2-2, and he'll send this toward first base, and this is going to get all the way through A seeing eye ground ball into right field, and 2 men aboard here with 1 out. And Justin, you talked about kind of the weird at-bats we saw back in the second inning. That ground ball fits that same category. It somehow finds the space. As we've got a pinch hitter here, we're only in the 6th inning, but we've got to change. It's not going to be Beverly coming to the plate. This is number 31. That is Kobe Shutter.
And I'm not surprised to see a pinch hitter at this point in the game. We have a pinch hitter waiting on deck. It looks like 2, number 11. I have 20, which was Petty.
Colin Wheelbacher is the man on deck.
And you mentioned early in the game we might see some unique looks from North Central today, from both teams perhaps. We know the CUC lineup is pretty standard for the most part thus far, but North Central playing a midweek non-conference game and getting different guys at bats, some different looks throughout the game. And
Kobe Shutter now batting. Big guy, 6'5", 230 pounds, the senior. As he grounds the first pitch through the hole on the left side. No, Uba got a glove to it and saved a run. So he's not able to record the out, but still an important intervention by Matt Uba, as that will bring up another pinch hitter in Colin Wheelbacher.
Yeah, really nice job by Uba there to keep that ball in the infield and save a run. And now, you just look to roll 2 and get out of the inning.
Wheelbacher, also a senior, an outfielder from Bourbonnais.
Now batting number 11, Colin Wheelbacher.
Wheelbacher this season has started 13 games. This is his first time coming into a game midway. 265 batting average. He's got 7 RBIs. And he's in a prime position to drive in more here. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the 6th. 1-0 count from John Myers. The pitch. Outside, 2-0. Another big inning being threatened here by North Central. Shutter at first, Davis at second, Listy at third. The 2-0 is lifted in the air down the right field line, slicing foul to the line and making the catch. No.
Oh, he made the catch, but it was in foul territory and the runner's tagged up.
Okay, I was confused there by the ump signal. So it is a catch for out number 2. Tagging from third and scoring is Listy to make it 10-1. The runner at second, Davis, moves to third. Shutter stays put at first. And that'll bring up Gregorio, the third baseman. Or will it? No, it will not. I was going to say the ump was writing. It's going to bring in number 5 instead. That is number 5, Brent Swenson. Swenson listed as a catcher and utility player from Palatine. And on the first pitch, he's lined that into left field. It's 11-1 North Central.
He came up chasing immediately. These guys coming off the bench with the opportunity to bat with runners in scoring position, and they are they're taking advantage of that.
Swenson, who's had a very good season, gets in the game here, and the streak of 3 pinch hitters ends as Roach is up here. 2 on, 2 out. Roach takes the first pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. $11 runs on 14 hits, 3 errors committed by the Cougars to add to it. As it's 11-1 here in the 6th. Myers will throw to second.
A little behind the runner there.
Shutter back safely. Shutter's a big guy. Maybe he runs better than I'd expect for a 6'5" baseball player.
Well, he's a big target, and he almost got hit by that throw to second. And I'm sure it wouldn't have been the first time that happened to him on the base paths. We saw what happened to Yasmani Grandal the other night. Tall guys have a way of getting hit by infield throws.
This is golfed high into right field, but in position to make the play is Howie Hatton, and he will to end the inning. But it's 3 more on the board from North Central Home half of the sixth upcoming. The visitors lead 11-1. Gary Maynard to lead off the bottom of the sixth for the Cougars.
Leading off for the Cougars, number 17, Gary Maynard.
Gary Maynard today has grounded out and flown out. Litke back on the mound for his third inning of work as Maynard drives this hard. Deep left field, left fielder going back, it's off the wall. Maynard kind of stumbled over first base, but he's going to get to second because no one's covering, and it's a leadoff double for Gary Maynard.
Now batting number 8, Brody Mariotti.
That'll bring up Brody Mariotti. Brody is 1 for 2 today. And Mariotti, with his 24 RBIs this season, chance to pick up another here with a runner on and nobody out. First pitch from Litke is a breaking ball for a strike.
And one thing we've learned from the Cougars this year is they are not going to roll over here just because they're down 10 runs in the sixth inning. You expect this offense to battle till the end, and this inning has provided them a good opportunity to jump on and maybe work their way back into this game a little bit. They still have 4 at-bats left.
This is going to sound crazy if you didn't watch the games, but they played a doubleheader on Monday with Illinois Tech that, I'm not kidding you, featured 80 runs approximately in 2 games.
Just about. And so, yeah, those were long games, and
Mariotti fouls that off. I'm gonna check.
we certainly aren't asking for that here, but we're, with what the point is that this offense is capable of rolling when it's rolling, and North Central certainly has a couple more guys who are going to come into this game to pitch, I assume, and you never know what guy the Cougars might be seeing the ball while out of his hand. And
so I slightly exaggerated, but there was 65 runs scored in 2 games, which is still absurd.
Still
Litke bobbles this and will throw to first and get Mariotti. Maynard is up to third. But yeah, 65 runs scored in one afternoon between 2 baseball teams is a lot of offense.
No, they were.
And that'll bring up Colton Wallace. One out here in the sixth. Runner on third is Maynard after Mariotti's ground out moves him over. That brings in Colton Wallace. Wallace today 0 for 2. First pitch from Litke is a fastball outside ball 1.
That pitch just missed for Litke off the outside corner.
It's already the most pitches Litke's had to throw in an inning. He misses high again, 2-0. Activity is going in the bullpen down to our left. Number 50 is the man warming up. That's Robert Deisher. That's a strike called to Wallace.
Didn't even look as good as the first 2 from my vantage point, so Wallace and Litke probably both a little confused as to what to expect from the ump in this at bat.
2-1 is that big sweeping curveball that is lined hard.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he could have been more in front of that pitch.
one of the coaches for North Central casually just moved his right foot and nearly avoided taking that ball straight to the ankle, and he didn't even flinch.
That's just a veteran move right there. Years of experience in the dugout.
The 2-2 is low, full count. Or maybe, you've just had enough balls line drive right at you that you're no longer phased. A battle here between Litke and Wallace. Runner on third and the 3-2. Is a fastball flown into center field. Coming on to make the play is Listy. Maynard will tag. The throw is offline, and Gary Maynard scores to make it 11-2 on the sacrifice fly by Colton Wallace. That'll bring up Matt Uba.
Now batting number 6, Matthew Uba.
Uba is 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. Letke now up to 32 pitches. Still not much for 2 2/3 of work as a changeup pulls the string. Strike one.
Yeah, we don't always see Uba chase outside of the zone, so.
Especially not early in at bats. The 0-1 pitch is flared down the line in left, foul toward the bullpen, 0-2.
The guy warming up in the bullpen just making a play on that off the bounce.
Deisher was well aware that a ball was headed his way. He's ready if Litke doesn't get out of this inning, but he's a pitch away as that mitts is low and outside. And I would think that Litke will be done after these 3 innings of work. We saw Rios go 3 to start. Litke looking to complete his third here. He misses on a breaking ball, 2-2. The 2-2 from Litke is a fastball grounded to second base. Nice play by the second baseman to first for out number 3, and that ends the inning. But the Cougars do get another run on the board. We'll head to the 7th, 11-2 Cardinals. New pitcher for the Cougars, Jack Rector, on the bump. Rector making his 9th appearance out of the bullpen this season. Now makes him the Cougars pitcher to appear in the most games.
Michael Patterson.
Rector with 20 strikeouts in 13 innings pitched. Rector's first delivery to Patterson is up and in for ball one on a fastball. Rector, who might throw harder than anybody on this Cougars pitching staff.
Yeah, there's a lot of power in that left arm, and they're bringing him in here to just kind of hold down the fort.
Rector, a freshman from Peoria, Arizona. The 2-0 is another inside fastball, 3-0, and Rector maybe just pulling a little bit. And that's a 3-0 fastball on the inside corner, strike one. You were saying, Justin?
I was going to say the counting of the balls has begun again in the north central dugout, and let's hope that strike puts an end to the chance into the throwing of the balls, and Rector comes back and gets him right here.
That's another inside fastball, ball four, and it's a leadoff walk for Patterson. And we've got another pinch hitter. That's number 43, Ryan Nevins.
Now batting number 43, Ryan Nevins.
Nevins, a Chicago native, attended Loyola Academy on the north side. This is Nevins' first appearance of the season. First time he's gotten in a game, the freshman making his college debut here against a team that wears the same colors he did in high school. As that's in the dirt, blocked ball by Gledhill, ball one.
Carter calls for time. He's going to go out and talk to the freshman pitcher, Rector, on the mound. Probably just, this seems like just to kind of calm him down, talk, and say, hey, just throw some strikes here, and you got 8 guys behind you.
That is Rector's 14th walk he's issued this season in 13 innings pitched. I should say 13 plus innings pitched, technically.
I would assume not an unusual statistic for hard-throwing freshmen.
I wouldn't think so either. Also, we have another pinch hitter coming up next, so emptying the bench here, our North Central, as we're in the 7th. Rector's pitch is lined into right field. Cougars got a man there. Howie Hatton makes the catch for out number 1. And this will bring up, as I mentioned, another pinch hitter, number 24, Johnny Auga. So believe it. Well, wait. I think it was 24 at least.
It is still 40. It is
no,
still
it is
Lennon.
still 40. I have the...
There is a guy. It was not Lennon swinging in the on-deck circle.
You're correct. I don't know if it's Auga or Auge who's on deck, but he's also not in the pronunciation guide.
He'll be hitting for Listy if he is to come up next.
But for now, it's Lennon and his 2 triples who come to the plate, and he takes strike 1 and a fastball from Rector. Heavy dose of fastballs, Jack Rector. 0-1 count with 1 out here in the 7th. And this is grounded to third, could be 2. To second for 1. Over to first, and legging out a single.
He got down there pretty quickly.
Technically a fielder's choice in the end, but aboard is Lennon, and he's shown his speed all day today after those 2 triples. And that will bring up the pinch hitter, Auga.
Now batting number 24, Johnny Auger.
Auga, a junior from Rosemont. This season has played in 1 game, and he is 0 for 1 at the plate. And on the first pitch here, he's chopped it back to the mound. Rector underhand to first. We'll get out number 3 and end of the inning. A runner stranded. 7th inning stretch time here at the Thunderdome. 11-2 North Central. New pitcher in the game, another one for North Central. We assume they're just going to split this game in thirds. The first two pitchers have each gone 3. This is Robert Deisher making his first appearance of the season, a junior from Cary, Illinois. And Carter Gledhill lines his first pitch into center field as Carter gets his second hit of the game. It's bobbled by the center fielder. Carter thought about 2, but Lennon recovered quickly enough before airmailing second base. Lennon has shifted from right to center and still adjusting apparently as Gledhill's aboard to lead off the inning.
And you said you're going to assume that they split the game into thirds. They already have someone else in the bullpen. And what I was going to say is with everything North Central has done today, I'm going to do anything besides assume.
That is very true. We've seen so many players in this game I've lost count. First pitch here is a strike to Christian Jacob. Deisher, who looks to throw pretty hard. Swung on and missed. I can't tell if that was a changeup or a split finger in the dirt. Thing had some dip on it either way.
Yeah, either way, not a pitch that you really want to go chasing.
No.
And if you do, it's probably going to be a chopper back to the mound, and they're going to get 2 outs out of it.
But yes, as you mentioned, plenty of movement, Justin, in the dugout. Grounder to third. They've got no chance at Gledhill, so the throw is to first for out number 1. And that'll bring up Aiden Donovan.
Now batting number 5, Aiden Donovan.
Donovan today is 0 for 2. Gledhill, the runner at second with 1 out. Donovan swings at the first pitch and flares it towards shortstop into center field. Gledhill's going to be held, though, because of how short in the outfield that was. Runners on first and third now with 1 out. My bad. Pitch is inside here. 1-1 the count to Howie Hatton. The 1-1 pitch fouled back, 1-2. Still 1 out here. Gledhill the runner at third, Donovan at first after the single. In the dirt, 2-2.
Hatton with one of the Cougars' 2 RBIs today. Sure, he wouldn't mind a second here.
Absolutely not. As you mentioned, this Cougars offense will fight to the end no matter the score, and Hatton chops this to shortstop. It's into the outfield, and Carter Gledhill will score on the RBI single by Howie Hatton. And that'll bring up Caleb Anderson.
And it's good to not only see a run scored for the Cougars, but a run scored with 3 hits. Nothing,
yes.
No walks, no flukes, no dinks, no errors. Just 3 solid singles and a little rally going here now in the 7th inning.
Deisher not having the ideal first outing of his season on the run and making a great diving catch in left field is Roach on the run. Trey Roach with an excellent 5-star defensive play there for out number 2.
Yeah, if that gets down and past him, that's at least 1 run for the Cougars, potentially 2. And so great job to get there and lay out and make the play. One of the few guys who's played the entire game for the Cardinals, and we may have just seen a big reason why.
Not to offer too much information, but Gary Maynard does not appear to be aware that he needs a new pair of pants as he takes strike 1 up and in.
Do they call that a strike?
Sorry, ball 1 up and in. But Gary must have slid on something. We'll leave it at that. He fouls this off, 1-1. Maynard with 2 on. Takes a breaking ball. Strike 2, 1-2. 1 run in for the Cardinals as Deesher tries to get out of trouble here. The 1-2 is inside, ball 2. Two on, 2 out, 2-2. The pitch. Grounded back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Coming around to score is Donovan, and it's 11-3. The inning continues for the Cougars. And here comes big Brody Mariotti.
Now batting number 8, Brody Mariotti.
As I mentioned, we've got some activity down in the bullpen, trying to identify the pitcher in question.
Yeah, the lead is still 7 for the Cardinals, but with the powerful part of the Cougars' order rolling through and the way they've been able to hit the ball this inning, you wonder if they might be able to put a little bit more of a dent in it.
Still 2 on, still 2 out as Mariotti takes a big cut at the first pitch and fouls it straight back, 0-1. Pitcher in the bullpen is number 13. That's Noah Fisher. As Mariotti takes strike 2.
Well, he wasn't a fan of that pitch or that call.
No, that looked like it was coming in on his hands. Had some inside-out cutting action. And if you're a right-handed hitter, not much you could do with a pitch in that spot. 0-2 to Mariotti. Mariotti fouls this one off high down the right field line. Count stays 0-2.
That's off the building that sits there down the right field line in foul territory, obviously. It was a very high hit ball.
Another 0-2 is another foul ball. We'll do it again. 2 runs in the inning for the Cougars, who still trail 11-4. But they'll have 2 more shots at this. Still a chance to make this a game. Another 0-2 coming to Mariotti. Swung on and missed on a high fastball, strike 3 to end the inning. But the Cougars do get 2 more runs. We'll go to the 8th, 11-4 North Central. Jack Rector back to the mound here in the 8th. And we've got another pinch hitter. No,
Nope.
Michael Davis.
One of the few Cardinals who's remained in the game for the entirety of it.
Takes a big cut at the first pitch and fouls it straight back, 0-1. Davis in this game did score on following his one hit today, but he has struck out twice and grounded out. Rector high, ball one. One from Rector to Davis. Off speed, but outside. Two-one pitch is swung on and fouled back, 2-2. Bells tolling here outside the stadium. It's 5 p.m. here, just west of Chicago. Alex Campbell, Justin Bjorseth with you from the Thunderdome, Cougar Stadium here at CUC, where the North Central Cardinals lead 11-4 in some Wednesday evening non-conference action.
I don't think anyone's complaining about being roughly 2 hours into this game and being in the 8th inning, as there's a big strikeout.
Strikeout and a fastball for Rector. One down. That'll bring up Shutter.
Now batting number 31, Kobe Shutter.
First pitch to Shutter is in the dirt, ball one. That's taken for strike one. Quick look at the upcoming schedule for the Cougars. They've got a set of 4 with Dominican, 2 away, 2 home this coming weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And then during the week next week, they've got a home doubleheader on Tuesday against Concordia, Wisconsin. As that pitch from Rector is low, ball 2.
Those Concordia, Wisconsin games will not count toward the Cougars' conference record, as only teams within the state of Illinois in the NAC conference technically count as conference.
Yeah, the NAC North and the NAC South being viewed independently for baseball conference standings, as that's down and in, ball 3.
And I'm fairly sure that is only a this year thing.
Well, with the adjusted schedule and playing games in sets of
Yes.
4, lots of weird things this year.
And you run into games that are harder to make up with travel, and you don't want to end up with conference games not being played. You want every team to have as close to the same amount of conference games played as possible, so that you have the total fairness and legitimate standings at the end of the year. And so with a lot harder to get to some of those Wisconsin schools in the middle of the week to make up games, especially when every weekend is already booked with schools from Illinois.
3-2 pitch coming here from Rector is just jammed into left field. A base hit. Shutter is 2 for 2 and starts the inning with a single.
1-out single.
Sorry, 1-out single. It's been a long day.
Yeah. And you still got soccer on the brain, and now we're here in the 8th inning of a baseball game.
Now batting number 11, Colin Wheelbacker.
It'll bring in Wheelbacher. Wheelbacher, who had a sac fly in his first at-bat. Rector checks the runner and throws. This is grounded down the third base line and just foul. And I don't know about you, Justin. I think that might have been a fair ball.
I thought that was foul, but I'm going to say that the North Central dugout agrees with you, so I'm outnumbered here.
The ump was not lined up with the third baseline when he signaled. He was a little late getting out there, and the bullpen all kind of looked like they were pretty confident that thing went right over the bag, and that was my initial interpretation. It bounced in fair territory before it got to the bag, and it was very close.
Yeah, it's about where it passes the bag, obviously.
Correct.
I thought it was just a little to the left of the bag. The ump didn't look like he was so sure when he was making the call, though. So, sometimes the safe call on that is probably foul.
Yes.
As rather than to give
What would have been a double at least and sent a Cougars player careening through the bullpen, which has quite a crowd gathered down there right now.
apparently the place to be right now.
I mean, I can understand wanting to get up and get moving a bit.
Yeah,
during
it's
one
cold.
of these long games. Yeah, a little chilly here in River Forest. 2-1 count now from Rector to Wheelbacher. A check on the runner. And the pitch. High fly ball, left center field. Coming in to make the play is Gary Maynard for out number 2. And that'll bring up Swenson.
Now batting number 5, Brent Swenson.
Swenson 1 for 1, another one of those pinch hitters last time through the order. Shutter still the runner at first, 2 down here in the 8th. Pitch from Rector is low, ball 1.
Didn't look too low. Rector has really found his control and command out there since the first couple of batters, ever since Gledhill went out and talked to him after he came out of the gates, kind of firing all over the place. He's settled in,
The 1-0
like we said.
is low inside 2
Not
now.
unexpected from freshmen who have the kind of arm that Rector has. That
Right, it's about controlling the talent that's in that left arm. Again, he's not a huge guy, Rector, listed at 6 foot, but he's got a lot of pop in that fastball. And if he can get control of that thing and place it wherever he wants, that could be a real weapon out of the Cougars bullpen for the next few years. But he's missed high here, 3-0. I can't see any activity down in the Cougars' pen.
I do not believe that there is any. There's no one down there sort of guarding it.
Shout out to one of our other production assistants, Kate Johnson, who is on the camera behind home plate and has a view down the right field line. The 3-0 from Rector is a fastball for strike 1. Everybody chipping in here today behind the scenes on what's been a very busy day for us here at CUC Athletics.
Like you said earlier, no shortage of action this spring.
Foul ball could be playable. Mariotti on the run. I don't think made the catch. I can't see him, but I don't think he made the catch because the batter is walking back to the box.
Well, he kind of stumbled coming out of the infield. And he's talking to the dugout now. He's got his glove in his hand. I think that he's got to do some
Some
repairing to his glove. Yeah, I think that one of the knots might have come loose, and he's grabbing a new glove. It looks like it looks like it's still a first baseman's mitt, so that's good. Not a total disaster. Might not have the right feel in it though that he has with the mitt he's accustomed to.
Someone in the dugout ready to help. Meanwhile, full count here from Rector to Swenson. 2 outs here in the 8th. The pitch is another foul ball to the right. We'll do it again. Another 3-2 from Rector is in the dirt, ball 4. So a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Trey Roach, who last inning made a great diving catch in the outfield.
Yeah, we'll see if he can't now get a little something going at the plate.
Roach today is 2 for 4.
So he has had a little something going at the plate.
2 RBIs on 2 singles, a strikeout, and a flyout.
Taking full advantage of playing this entire game, which not many of his teammates were afforded the luxury to do.
First pitch is driven way back, straightaway center field, and this ball is out of here. A bomb from Trey Roach. Big play in the outfield, now a big play at the plate as he takes a Rector fastball out to right center field, a no-doubter right off the bat to make it 14-4. And that, Justin, is what we call a golf swing.
Yeah, that was absolutely crushed. And some lefty-on-lefty crime there. And a lot of times you'll run into that, though. Rector, we've been talking about how hard he throws, and if you get someone with a little bit of pop in their bat who can catch up to that, the way Roach did there, that might be the result you get sometimes. But now Rector deals with bases empty, still needing just 1 out to get out of the inning.
Patterson, the batter, will swing at the first pitch and foul it off, strike 1. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was a poorly placed pitch by Rector.
Not at all.
It's a fastball down and into a left-handed batter, but Roach lined it up and just golfed that thing over the big wall in center field. First home run of the day for either team. It's back to a 10-run lead. Rector delivers again, and this is a single in a center field. Patterson, another runner aboard with 2 outs. And not that we were expecting it, but we should note that it is an option for teams who are trailing by 10 or more after the 7th inning to seed the game. We have not seen that done in a Cougars game this season, for or against them. So I don't expect we'll see it now.
I'm curious, that first game at IIT on Monday, I do believe that IIT conceded.
Oh, that's my mistake.
That being a doubleheader, though, is probably a different situation.
I should say that twice. MSOE also conceded after a Howie Hatton homer in the 8th inning.
That's right, the walk-off, the non-ninth inning walk-off. Who could forget?
I should correct. The Cougars have been seeded twice this year. The Cougars have not seeded. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 14-4, North Central. Up and in as we've got a kind of a double change of sorts going on here. Only one new player has come in, but we've got 2 new positions to inform you about. Michael Patterson has moved from third base to pitching, so shout out to the guys at Cespedes Family Barbecue on Twitter. We have a position player pitching here in River Forest, and if you are a diehard MLB fan, you will get that. If you are not, you're probably very confused, and I would advise you to just ignore the last 30 seconds of what I said.
Has he pitched any this year, or is this just...
This is a chopper to the new third baseman. That's a nice segue. Rizzo, throw to first, is picked out of the dirt nicely by the first baseman Shutter. Let's look in to see if Mr. Patterson has thrown this year. Short answer, he hasn't.
So they are really doing it. This is when I goes back to when I said I'm not going to assume anything from North Central today, as they are.
We have a full-on position player.
This
pitching.
Isn't what we were dealing with a couple weeks ago with. I believe it was MSOE had a lot of guys who did both. This isn't one of those situations. This is a position player pitching.
Although I'm going to check Patterson's history. Nope, he's a freshman, so he's never pitched before at the college level. I assume as a talented baseball player, he did so in high school.
I would assume so as well. But
with a 10-run lead here, we've gone full position player pitching. So, that's a nice little baseball joke for you, but, Meanwhile, it's a 10-run game, and if you're the Cougars, we saw some less than respectful body language at the plate from North Central early in the game. If you're the Cougars, it's time to tee off on the position player pitching.
Well, you would think that these guys are going up there eager with anticipation, but with that being said, it's important not to chase anything out of the zone. It doesn't look like Patterson, has too much on his pitches. So, don't be too overly eager.
Uba will ground to this one to first for out number 2. And that'll bring up Carter Gledhill. Little living color cult of personality for Carter Gledhill's walk-up song.
We were talking about his last one at the last break, the Gary Clark Come Together Beatles cover. So I think he has 2 of the better walk-up songs on the team, if I'm allowed to give my input.
Strong
there
contention.
are some good ones, though.
He was also in charge, though, of putting together the playlist of walk-up songs, so he's in a bit of a privileged position there as he takes strike 1.
That's true. Is he favoring himself? We don't really know.
Well, he got a chance to look at everyone else's first and say, all right, this is what I've got to outdo.
Yeah, I got to top this.
The 0-1 pitch is outside, ball 1. A 1-1 from Patterson is lined up the middle by Gledhill, who's got his 3rd hit of the day, which is a new single-game high for Carter Gledhill.
Now batting number 2, Christian Jacob.
That'll bring up Christian Jacob. Jacob's 0 for 3 today.
Nice day at the plate for Gledhill, 3 for 4. He's not going to complain about that.
No.
Some sharp singles up the middle.
2 sharp
Seen
singles
the
up the
ball
middle
really well.
and 1 weird blooper.
Yeah. The one Kansas City special. I had forgotten about that one when you said that it was his 3rd hit of the day. The only other one that I remembered was the other hit up the middle, and then sometimes it's your day. Sometimes you're seeing the ball well, and then when that happens, finds a way to drop even on less than stellar contact. He looks like he's ready to go at first.
Why not? An 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Well, especially when you're against the guy who's not usually a pitcher who's going to throw a little bit slower. When he throws a fastball, that's going to be a straight pitch with not a lot of velocity behind it. And if you as a batter just wait for that, you can line that up.
And he just looked over there, but I can't imagine where we'll see a pickoff at time. Maybe for fun.
1-1, inside 2-1.
But it won't be one. We've seen some pitchers this year make a habit almost every other pitch throwing over to check on the runner. I don't think that we're going to run into that here. I think if Gledhill wants second base, it might be his. But
especially with 2 outs.
You wonder again, though, about the potential run rule that, again, we have no idea if it is going to be implemented. But
we're at
Carter's
10 right now.
run could matter if these 2 coaches agreed before the game to the 10-run rule.
If Carter were to score, it would guarantee us we're going to the 9th. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. 3-2 now. And running out to play ball boy is Howie Hatton.
Yeah, typically the batter who is in the hole on the hook for that.
A 3-2 upcoming from Patterson to Christian Jacob here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Jacob takes ball 4 and 2 men aboard now with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the 9-hitter, Aiden Donovan.
Now batting number 2, Aiden Donovan.
Little California Love's not a bad walk-up song either.
Not if you're from California, then it's good. But
Number 5.
if he wasn't, then it would be
weird.
I'd be a little thrown off by it. But I believe he is a lone California kid on this team. That could be completely inaccurate. Apologies if I'm wrong.
Aiden Donovan is from Santee, California. He takes ball 1. I'm going to do a quick scroll here to make sure there are no other Californians on the roster. Lots of Illinois. There's
We got the Arizona pipeline.
the Arizona guys, 4 or 5 of them.
Not the only player from out west, but the only Cali kid.
Donovan swings and misses at. Is it a fastball? Is it a changeup? It's a position player. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows how to throw a changeup.
And he might. It's just hard. I'm normally kind of relying on instinct with how fast the pitch is, and I got no clue on that one. It's 1-1.
There's no true fastball to compare it to.
And this is a chopper to first by Donovan. Patterson is over to cover, and as a third baseman will handle that calmly And that ends the inning.
As though it ends the game.
And that, I think, is going to end the game. There are players all over the field. The run rule has been agreed to, and so that's going to do it. It's a final in 8 innings here at the Thunderdome. North Central 14, Concordia 4. Thanks for listening and watching on what's been a busy day here at CUC. Thank you for bearing with us in between games. The winning pitcher is Rios. Laudenschlager takes the loss. For Justin Bjorseth and everyone else here behind the scenes at CUC, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm Alex Campbell. Tomorrow night, women's volleyball at home in the NAC playoffs. Tune in for that. Match starts at 7 p.m. Until then, enjoy your night, enjoy your tomorrow. We'll see you then.